What are my favorite rye whiskeys for bourbon drinkers? Let's find out. What is going on, everybody? Nathan here with the Everyday Drinker, bringing you guys a brand new video. Are you somebody who is only drinking bourbon? Are you somebody who is afraid to try new things, to try rye whiskey? Well, today I'm going to give you my favorite rye whiskeys that are really good for bourbon drinkers. Before we get into my list though, as always, I want to know in the comments below what you personally think are great rye whiskeys for bourbon drinkers. Make sure you guys drop the like, make sure you guys smash that subscribe button because we're on the road to 20,000 subscribers, and that is only due to you guys hitting that subscribe button and making that happen. Also, like I've been saying, we are doing sample giveaways and bottle giveaways and raffles like crazy over at the Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support me and the channel, and it means the world. So link to that is down below. We've got a great community of guys and girls over in the Discord as well. We talk every single day, so I hope you guys contemplate and think about joining that. But without further ado, let's get into this list. So here we are. We've got a list of rye whiskeys that are great for bourbon drinkers. I've got 3 easy to find ones, 3 allocated ones, and one that I personally don't have but absolutely love. If you guys want to know what's in this glass, you've got to wait till almost the end because, you know, I don't have that last bottle, but it's one of the last whiskeys on this list. Let's get into bottle number 1. Bottle number 1 is going to go to Sagamore Spirits Double Oaked Rye. This bottle is coming in at 96.6 proof, and it's going to run you about $55. This was the first rye whiskey that I personally had ever purchased, and I am so glad that I did. It is so darn delicious. I love this bottle so much. For all of you Woodford Double Oak fans, you Old Forester 1910 fans, you lower proof lovers, but you like what the Double Oak influence has to offer on your bourbon, you're gonna love that bottle so much. It's just a bottle that, you know, I've gone through 3 or 4 bottles of it, and every single time I get a new one, I'm so happy that I have a new bottle of it, because it's just a bottle that, you know, when I go to it, it just brings back memories of what a good rye whiskey at a lower proof has to offer. Let's get into bottle number 2. Bottle number 2 is going to go to Pikesville Rye, and this bad boy's coming in at 110 proof and about $55 to $60 depending on what store you walk into. This bad boy right here is going to come in at the lowest mash bill percentage a rye can be. Let me educate you a little bit. Bourbon's got to be 51% corn to be a bourbon. Rye's got to be 51% rye in that mash to be considered a rye. So this bad boy's got 51% rye, so it is just right there on that cusp of being a rye. So because of that, it's got a little bit higher of a corn percentage in the mash bill, brings up that sweetness a little bit, dampens down that spiciness, and it's just one that you can do absolutely anything with. You know, you're not going to be afraid to mix it, put it on rocks, drink it neat, put it in whatever you want to start to dabble in that rye whiskey category, you know, because this one right here, if you're a double oak lover, this is the one that I would recommend getting first. If you are super scared in getting into ryes, I would highly recommend picking up Pikesville first because of that lower rye mash bill. But hey, no matter what one you go with, we've got a couple more bottles to get through. You're going to be happy with all these bottles that I put on this list. Let's get into bottle number 3. Bottle number 3 is going to go to Old Overholt 114. We did a blind video specifically with Andrew a couple weeks ago, and I put this bottle in there when we were doing a rye blind. And I wanted to see what this $30 to $35 rye whiskey could do against harder to find, more expensive rye whiskeys. And surprisingly, this bottle came out in first for me, and I think second or third for Andrew. But we were both saying that for this price, this might just be the best bang for your buck rye whiskey on the market right now. I love this bottle. I've gone through maybe 6 or 7 bottles of it. I mix it, I put it on rocks, I introduce people to rye whiskeys with this bottle right here, and every single time I pick up a new bottle of this, one goes on the bar cart for mixing and one goes on the shelf. So I always at least have 2 bottles of this bottle in my possession at all times. That's going to do it for the easy to find bottles. Let's get into the hard to find bottles, and let's get into bottle number 1. My first hard to find bottle on the rye whiskey list is going to go to Bardstown Origin Series Rye. This is going to be a 95% rye, 5% malted barley, coming in at 6 years old. This is going to be one that, you know, for your traditional bourbon drinkers, I do not recommend getting this bottle first. But for $70, if you do pick it up and you start to dabble in ryes, you're not going to be disappointed. This is going to be finished, I believe, in toasted cherry wood and oak barrels. So what that cherry is going to do is influence a little bit more of a fruity sweetness in this whiskey right here. It's not going to be super spicy because that cherry is going to start to diminish that spiciness and bring in a little bit more sweetness. And I love this bottle. Thanks to Doc over at Old Fashioned Ways for getting me this bottle. As soon as I got it, I started to crush it. And you can see I'm almost about a quarter of the way down this bottle. And I said, you know, I got to slow this down because I don't know when the next time I'm going to get another one of these is. So it is just one of those bottles that, you know, once you start to dabble in the ryes, right, you start to maybe get all 3 of these. I would say possibly pick up this one right here next because it's so darn good. Let's get into bottle number 2 of our hard to find whiskeys. Bottle number 2 of our hard to find whiskeys is going to go to another Old Overholt, and I'm sorry, but I have to put this bottle on here. This is the Old Overholt Cask Strength Straight Rye Whiskey, 10 years old, coming in at 121 proof. Let me tell you again. This bottle right here is so freaking good. You put this bottle right here, the Old Overholt 114, and you amplify it by 2. This bottle right here can be a bourbon drinker's rye if you love high proof. You like that almost super spiciness. If you're an Elijah Craig fan, if you like that really spicy note, this bottle right here is going to be the one for you. You know, you're getting that higher proof. You're getting that higher age, and you're getting a nice spice kick, but you're getting a little bit more complexity, a little bit more nuance behind it because of that extra age in that bottle right there, and you're not going to be disappointed whatsoever in the Old Overholt 10-year cask strength. It's coming in at about $95 to $100. You can still find this on shelves from time to time here and there in some liquor stores, but nonetheless, like I said, you're not going to be disappointed with the Old Overholt Cask Strength 10-year. Let's get into our 3rd bottle of our somewhat hard to find bottles, but this bottle right here, you guys most likely know what's going to be. It's the bottle that's in this glass right here, and it is most likely your best bang for your buck whiskey on the market right now. I don't think I have to talk too much about this bottle right here. This is the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Strength Rye Whiskey. Mine specifically is coming in at 135.7 proof, so it is the highest rye whiskey proofed whiskey that I have on my shelves at the moment, and it's so darn good. I don't need to talk about it. You guys know about it. You guys have seen reviews, you've seen the videos, you've seen the articles on this bottle. It's so darn good. I got mine for $60. Most of them are going $70, $75, and you can't go wrong with that price range for a barrel proof rye whiskey that is going to send you into the heavens of just absolute deliciousness. Oh my God, it's one of the best noses in a whiskey that I have ever experienced. And I'm telling you right now, it does not drink at that 135, almost 136 proof whatsoever. You're going to be amazed when you pick up that bottle right there for the first time and take a sip of it. You're going to be in heaven. So that's going to do it for the 6 bottles that I personally have. I've got one more rye whiskey that I have had and wish I have on my shelf, and that is going to be the Michters 10-year single barrel rye whiskey. These are coming in lower proofers, around 90 to, I think some of them are upwards of like 95, 96 proof. But man, when I take a sip of that lower proofed, higher aged rye from Michters, it's a mouthfeel, it's an experience like you're drinking a barrel proof whiskey, but you're not getting the proof. It's creamy, it's viscous, it's luscious, it's velvety, it rolls over your tongue like you wouldn't believe. And if you've had a sip of possibly the bourbon, the Michters 10-year single barrel bourbon, you know what I'm talking about. And it's the same exact experience from the rye, just a little bit spicier, brings out a little bit more of a spice. And I personally think that with that lower proof, that spice characteristic is something else, and I absolutely love it. And you know, one day I'll have one of the two. I'll have a Michters 10-year barrel, single barrel rye, or a Michters single barrel 10-year bourbon. I'll have one of them. I don't know which one will come first, but one day that will happen, and I can give you guys a review, put it in some blinds, and we'll see where that bottle falls from here on out. But there you guys have it. Those are going to be the 7 rye whiskeys that I think are great for bourbon drinkers to get into and start to try. Like I said, leave a comment down below on what you think are the best rye whiskeys for bourbon drinkers. And until next time, this has been Nathan with The Everyday Drinker. Cheers.